Thank you for joining us. As you can see, we can't even defend our stations from Herc attacks. It's going to take a joint Alliance and Dominion effort to stop them. We are currently at the edge of the Dosi system. Thankfully, the Herc aren't attacking the Dosi homeworld yet. They're starting to evacuate as a precaution, however. The Dosi recently joined the Dominion after many years of independence. Their aggressive fondness for commerce can be troublesome, but they've managed to prove their worth to the Founders. Work on this planet was a joint project with the Karemans, and the Dominion built a station here to provide oversight.
All ships, target the Herc and fire at will.
Victory is life!
Planet appears to have been abandoned some time ago. No life signs detected. Sensors indicate an extensive network of defunct mines. I'm reading residual levels of dilithium, topoline, chemosite, and several components used in the production of Ketracel White. How curious. Of what use would this world be to the Herc? It's clearly of no value to the Dominion. Wait. I'm reading more Herc inbound.
They're going for the station. What are they after? We should scan the station once we're done with these Herc. Life signs on sensors. Abandoned. I'm picking up trace levels of mineral resources in several storage areas, but there's nothing of note here. Unless the Herc are driven solely to consume an assortment of minerals. This is a very interesting place, in that it's completely uninteresting to everyone but the Herc.
I concur. If my analysis of the station's life support systems is correct, this station hasn't been in use for nearly 20 years. From a tactical and economic point of view, this planet and its station are close to worthless, and have been for some time. Quite uniquely discovered here. An abandoned station of no worth to the Dominion, yet Odo brought us here, specifically over several nearby systems of considerably more. Either the Herc are attacking mindlessly, randomly, or there is something compelling about this planet to realize. In any event, I don't think the answers were
don't go to warp just yet. We're picking up a distress signal over here. You should take a look. Looks like it's a Ferengi signal of uncertain origin coming from the Karema system. I seem to recall Quark mentioning some business with the Karemans recently. This can't be a coincidence. We should look into this. Quark might have bitten off more than he can chew again.
Is that really a good use of our time? The Karemans are very resourceful. They design a considerable number of weapons and defense systems for the Dominion. I'm confident they can deal with the Herc on their own. As for Quark, he's quite capable of getting himself out of trouble. Trouble, I might add, that he had no business getting into in the first place.
I must say, Ambassador, I'm shocked. I know Quark's a gambler, but I never realized you were as well. Karema is a part of the Dominion, and an important one. Is losing their tactical and technological resources to the Herc wise?
Very well. Since I can see there's no talking you out of this, I'll accompany you to Karema. We're ready to go warp when you are. Let's get this over with.
Where did all these ships come from?
And here we are, the Karema system. Let's find out what Quark needs, deal with it, and move on.
Far be it for me to question the word of a founder, but that is a very large Dominion fleet I'm reading on sensors. I only mention it because we were led to believe Odo's fleet was the last. I trust there's a reasonable explanation for this miscommunication.
Your presence is not required here. Explain yourself. As are we. Karema is part of the Dominion. We are here to assist them, if they wish it. Interference? Perhaps it's a Herc countermeasure at work. I'll look into it. In the meantime, I will continue to respect the wishes of the Karimans. We will not intervene unless asked. Odo commands an expeditionary fleet. It is his to use in a mission to seek and destroy the Herc as he sees fit. My fleet is a defense fleet. It seems the distinction was not made clear to you. How unfortunate. Interference?
I will take responsibility for their actions in Kareman space. One of our operatives requires immediate extraction.
You're quite persistent, aren't you? Very well. In the spirit of our newfound pact with the Alliance, I will allow you to proceed, albeit at your own risk. Exercise caution, Odo. It would be tragic for you to come so far, only to end it all here over Karima.
It seems we're not getting the whole story here.
So, business as usual.
Exactly, Captain.
Can you hear me? We need help, and fast! Most of our planetary defense lines are in danger of being overrun by the Herc. We've tried to evacuate, but the Jem'Hadar fleet opened fire on our ships when they broke orbit. We're trapped!
Combat is notoriously chaotic. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for that. One best pursued after we find Quark and help the Karemans.
I wonder. Yes. We should try to find Quark soon. It's quite possible he's the only Ferengi on the planet. A deep-range sensor scan should locate him.
Wonder if anyone would come. Took you long enough. Is Garrick with you? Tell him. Found the package, so he better get here fast if he wants to go pace. Running out of time here. The Herc is closing in. Get me out of here! Now! Poor Odo's lifelong wish will finally come true!
We need to get Quark out quickly, before he has an encounter with the Herc of the fatal variety. Let's go down together while Captain Kira and the Ambassador cover our ships in orbit. We'll have to beam down outside of Quark's location. I suggest bringing some pattern enhancers along. We may need them to beam out once we find him. We're about as close to Quark's last known location as we can get with transporters. I'm afraid we'll have to make the rest of the journey the old-fashioned way. Shall we? Quark's life sign is near here. Let's try to find a way in. How convenient. We've found a hidden path. Let's have a look. More Herc. It seems we're in the right place. Interesting. The metal in the walls here completely scatters my sensors. My tricorder shows a Ferengi life sign beyond that rather secure door. Unfortunately, the Kareman security system is beyond me. Given time, I could crack it, but we're running low on that commodity. There are a number of Kareman life signs nearby, however. One of them might be able to help us reach Quark.
thanks for the timely rescue. I don't suppose you'd be willing to turn a blind eye to all the contraband you've seen down here? It'd save me the trouble of shooting you later. Kidding. I was kidding. You know, humor. Do they have that on your planet? Anyway, you're clearly not Kremen police, so what brings you down here? Oh, Quark, yeah, I know him. Little guy, big ears, flashy dresser. I hear he owns a moon. And we locked him up in a secure room when the shooting started. A big spender like that should be kept safe. Tell you what, help us out with all these gurks, and whatever you call them. Help us, and I'll help you. Deal? All right, I'll wait for you here. Try not to die, okay?
The other Dominion ships just left the system. We're on our own.
The door's right there. I'll stay here while you save everyone.
Say I like that idea much, so, thanks, whoever you are. You're not police or military, well, Kremen military anyway. What brought you down here to the middle of hell? Oh, him. Think I saw my brother and some of his men hustle the little grifter into a vault before those monsters got in here. Good luck getting him out of there. Wait, that was rude. You just saved my life. Let me return the favor. One of my brother's people should be able to open the door for you. Find them, and you're all set. Perhaps waiting here would be best. The outer world is still a mess. And here we all are, alive and kicking. Wonderful! We had a deal, and I'm not about to back out on it, especially since you're all so well-armed and cranky. Not the kind of people I want to cross. Yeah, that can't be good. Door's open. You'd better get a move on. Your pal sounds a little stressed.
I see your mission was a successful one as well.
Yes, Garrick, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Karemin tech. They found it a few days before I got here. I haven't had a lot of time to analyze it, thanks to the Herc.
I see. Thank you. This narrows things down considerably.
It does. Good. That makes it more valuable.
Indeed it does, my friend. Indeed.
Well, First Minister, it looks like my distress call was heard. We're saved. Thank you. Looks like your reputation for getting things done is well-deserved. And as for you, Garrick, you and I need to have a long discussion. Seems you forgot to mention that Karema was under a Dominion blockade and in the middle of a Herc invasion. Do Cardassians go senile? Oh, don't answer that. I don't want to know. What I do know is that you're not paying me enough for this aggravation.
Not the liberators I was expecting, but thank you nonetheless. I'm First Minister Bekelba. Our situation has gone from bad to worse, and we have the Dominion to thank for it. Those of us on the edge of the Dominion were abandoned when the invasion began. In light of that, we voted to secede, to truly stand alone. The Dominion stood by while the Herc attacked us. We held off the invasion for a while, but their numbers are great. When we asked for aid, the Dominion refused. When we tried to evacuate, their fleet opened fire. They mean to punish us for our defiance.
Herc are leaving. For now.
Good luck with the revolution, Minister. You'll need it. You'll be hearing from me soon, Garrick.
I'm looking forward to it.
You won't when you see my bill.
Now that we're past that unpleasantness, I think it's time we had a chat with Ambassador Odo, particularly about this technological wonder we've acquired. I have my suspicions, of course. Suffice it to say, I believe you'll find its purpose of great interest to all concerned parties. My main curiosity lies in what the Ambassador will have to say about it. I propose we get to the bottom of this together. Excellent. I'll make all of the necessary arrangements and meet you aboard Odo's flagship.
What is this?
Stand down, all of you. To what do I owe this unexpected visit?
I hope you'll forgive the intrusion, Ambassador. We need to speak in person.
What are you up to, Garrick?
That's a very good question. What's this about exactly?
It's in regard to this device we found on Karema. Do you know what it is?
No idea. Some new Kareman military tech, perhaps?
Interesting. But no. The Karemans didn't make this. But it is a Dominion creation.
And its purpose?
I'm sure I have no idea, Ambassador. It does emit a signal, however. It's quite similar to that used by the Herc. Perhaps I should turn it on and show you?
There's no need for that.
I don't like where this is going, Garrick.
Nor I, Captain. You see, I found a similar device on Bajor.
On Bajor? When?
Right after the recent Herc attack, I'm afraid. Captain, scan the device. You'll find the soil residue on it is of Bajoran origin.
It does. It's from the Kendra province. Well, that doesn't mean that Odo...
Enough, Nerys. I can't have you defending me on this.
What?
Garrick's right. These devices called the Herc, and we put them there.
Explain. Now.
We needed the Alliance's help immediately. There wasn't time for summits or diplomacy. So I found a high-value target and led the Herc to it. I also took steps to make sure their attack would fail. Bajor was never at risk. You have to understand that.
You put my entire planet at risk. People died, Odo.
Nerys!
Save it. I've heard enough.
Please continue, Odo. You were saying?
I did what I needed to do to bring the Alliance into the war. I lied. Risked the lives of millions to save billions more. But there's more to this than a staged Herc attack. The other founders are hiding things from me. If I challenge them now, I'll have no chance to find out what. So, for now, I have to play the part.
Well, you're doing a great job of that, Odo. Or should I say, founder?
Trust me when I say I understand your position, Odo. The captain, on the other hand...
I know. I have a strong lead, but I'll need your help to move on it.
You know how to reach me. It seems you are a gambler, Odo, and a high-stakes one at that.
You have no idea.
It is not my place to question the will of the Founders. Your mind, however, is your own. Do with it as you will, but be warned. The Founders do not appreciate betrayal. If the Alliance withdraws from their pact with the Dominion, the consequences could be severe.
I need you to understand that Bajor was never at risk. We took precautions. I made sure that my fleet was in position to neutralize the Herc in time. Karema was not my decision. Do you honestly think I'd take part in a plot to bring allies to our side, and then move to wipe out another group of allies? As I said to Garrick, there is more to this than we know. I'm going to find out what and why. I hope you're inclined to join me when the time comes.
Quite the revelation, don't you think? It will be interesting to see how the powers that be respond to all this. For now, I think it's best to keep this in the purview of the diplomats. Let's return to our ships. There'll be more time to speak about this matter later.
I'm surprised to see you here, Weyoun. Aren't you usually at your founder's side, hanging on her every word?
It is a message from said founder that brings me here now. She would remind you of your purpose, to serve the Dominion as a whole.
How kind of you to deliver the message in person. Thank you for your service. As for my service, the ambassador shares his wisdom and guidance with me. Truly, he is a most benevolent god. Why should I not serve him? He is a founder, after all.
Serve the founders, yes, but also serve them well. Do recall the fate of your predecessor. She thought she served the founders well, quite possibly to the moment her unfortunate life came to its conclusion. As we both know, she was greatly mistaken.
The same could be said for your predecessor as well, dear Weyoun. Have you forgotten his sins? I know the founders haven't.
This is a private conversation. Unless you're here on a matter of the utmost importance, I suggest you find someone else to speak with. Somewhere else.
Interesting, don't you think? The founders are definitely up to something, and we all seem to have parts to play. I know Captain Kira is not happy with Odo, but I suspect that working with him will be our best option. Some advice? Don't speak with the Vorta or other founders about our current situation, at least for now. I'll contact you when we're ready to act on Odo's plan. Be seeing you. Odo's found something intriguing in the Masan system. Something the founders want no one to know about, even one of their own. That certainly piques my curiosity. I'll meet you in the Masan system. Odo wants to travel incognito this time. I trust you'll be able to deliver him and that surly Jem'Hadar bodyguard of his to the Masan system intact. One more thing. I've taken the liberty of informing Captain Kira, and she'll be joining us as well. After the Karema incident, she's taken a personal interest in high-level Dominion activity, particularly where Ambassador Odo is involved. Be seeing you.
I only recently learned of the station here. It's very old and very well concealed, even from Vorta and Jem'Hadar. From what I can tell, the Founders studied alien life here, including the Herc. We may be able to recover useful tactical data on them from the station's computers. No, and that concerns me. This is supposed to be an abandoned facility. Take us into comms range and open a hailing frequency. Let me do the talking. I should be able to make any Vorta or Jem'Hadar fall into line if things get difficult. So far so good. They're not targeting us.
Entering the Dominion systems without authorization has become a bad habit of yours, one I have grown weary of. You've shown a singular talent for annihilating the Herc. I suggest you return to that before my patience with your insolence expires.
There's no need for this posturing, Founder. We're here on official business under my authority.
Odo, it seems to be a day for defiance and bad habits. You do not have the authority to grant access to this system. It is restricted to all but those of the highest level, a level you do not possess. Now then, I suggest you leave immediately. Fire to disable. Odo must not be harmed.
Dominion forces. This is Counselor Garrick aboard the Tame. Cease hostilities. Consider that your first and only warning.
We must protect the Founder. All ships, disengage!
You certainly know how to make my days more interesting. An ancient Dominion research facility, guarded by the leader of the Founders? A cloaked fleet pales in comparison, but it's the best I can add to the mix. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. The fact that the Founder was willing to fire on one of her own speaks volumes on this station's worth. I look forward to discovering its secrets.
Since when does the Founder stand guard duty, Odo?
She doesn't. Let's find out what she's hiding.
We don't have a lot of time. We may have held off the Founder for now, but she'll be back, and she'll bring friends. Let's get down there and find what we came here for, before every Jem'Hadar in the Quadrant shows up.
I couldn't agree more, Captain. Why don't you and the Ambassador join the away team while I remain on guard with my fleet? On any other day, I'd be the first to beam down. However, after the Karema incident, I believe both the Captain and the Ambassador need to discover the truth of this station together. Call it a trust-building exercise.
Captain Kira makes a good point.
Looks like the station's running on auxiliary power. We've got life support, basic lighting, not much else. If we're gonna get anything useful out of this relic, we'll need to get the main power back online.
Stay vigilant. We have no idea what to expect here.
Well done. Main power is back online. We'll be able to access other systems, including the data core. Let's find an access console and see what's in there. Hopefully the data files aren't corrupted beyond repair. terminal is in poor shape. None of the files are accessible. Considering their age, I'm not terribly surprised. The Founders wouldn't keep a place like this hidden to protect dust and broken files. Let's check all the data terminals and consoles in the area. That one over there looks reasonably intact.
Research Report 4121.63, Dominion Reckoning. My fellow Founders, the Mesan Research Station is fully operational. As we continue to add worlds to our sphere of influence, our studies of xenobiology become more important. We must know all we can of both friend and foe. We need every advantage we can find if we are to achieve true dominion. Our Premier project is underway. You'll recall the recently discovered race of tree dwellers, hunted as we once were. Genetic engineering of these solids has produced considerable results. Their intelligence has increased by a factor of 3 so far. We predict the species will be the first of many loyal servitors and vassals.
She's talking about the Vorta. The date she gave was nearly 2,000 years ago, not long after the Dominion was founded. This facility's older than we thought. Much older.
Research Report 4653.15, Dominion Reckoning. Our scouts have discovered an interesting species of solids at the edge of the Dominion. They are a species of sentient insectoids that live primarily underground. We may not have detected them were it not for a thorough geological scan. Initial studies have revealed that these solids are based on germanium. I've attached bioscan data we collected on them for your review. I've dispatched a research unit to study these burrows further. They may be just what we need for the military initiative.
Burrowing sentient insectoids. Germanium-based. She must be talking about the Herc. Judging by the date, the Founders made first contact with the Herc nearly 2,000 years ago.
Research Report, Dominion Date 7021.27. More data has arrived on the Cadre species 484 designation, burrows. Their world's unusual orbital path has taken it out of the habitable zone. As a result, the burrows have retreated underground and entered a state of hibernation. While dormant, a smaller servitor race tends to the burrows. They also maintain their shared habitat and technology. I've instructed the field team to take advantage of their dormancy period, and they are now conducting aggressive studies of these intriguing solids. My team initiated first contact protocols with the borrowers prior to their mass dormancy. They found them to be friendly and intelligent, if not willful. We've identified a common element in their food supply. Manipulation of this element may prove useful in subjugating them.
Unbelievable. It sounds like the Founders made first contact with the Herc in order to find a way to conquer them. It's like Quark says, the bigger the smile, the sharper the knife.
Research Report 7903.01, Dominion Reckoning. Cadre Species 468, designation Jem'Hadar, is a massive success. They will be the strong arm of our Dominion, guided by our cunning, brilliant Vorta. The toil of these vassals will allow us to spend more time in the link with those we hold most dear.
The birth of the Jem'Hadar as seen through a Founder's eyes. Interesting. No mention of the Herc, however. Their designation number was lower than ours. They were our predecessors. Perhaps something went wrong? Something that led the Founders to reject and abandon them for a different species. Us.
Research report Dominion date 8183.67. The Burrowers have emerged once again, and in a hostile state. They have taken to the stars, moving from sector to sector, attacking anyone that crosses their path. Their goal is not one of conquest, but of consumption. They leave nothing but dead worlds in their wake. Though we do not understand their newfound savagery, we have found a use for it. When the Burrowers set their sights on a world, we offer the inhabitants a choice. Those that submit to our Dominion rule are defended by the Jem'Hadar. Those that don't serve as an object lesson to others.
So, the Founders have been using the Herc to manipulate others for some time now. Bend the knee to the Dominion, or we'll stand back and let them ravage your world. Only now something's different. Something's changed. They can't keep the Herc in line with the Jem'Hadar anymore. And we're all paying the price.
Research report 8532.38. Our scouts have returned from a wormhole expedition. The solid races on the other side are primitive and unremarkable, save for one. They are called Klingons, and show a singular talent for violence, one that rivals our own Jem'Hadar. Left unchecked, these savage creatures could become dangerous enemies. While the Klingons are too willful to subjugate, their genetic material could produce viable cohorts to the Jem'Hadar, or their replacements. We have begun development of a new cadre species, designation Thakiri, using demons from Klingon folklore for inspiration. As with Jem'Hadar, we have bound them to our service with the White. We will test them in combat on the Klingons themselves. Research report supplemental entry 8671.71 Dominion Reckoning. Somehow the Vakari have broken the hold of the White and turned on their rightful masters. Most of our research team were killed. Intelligence reports suggest a union between the Vakari and a Klingon warlord known as Mullah. Perhaps this will lead to a state of mutually assured destruction on Kronos. One can only hope.
So it would seem. Only they lost control of them, despite the use of Ketracel White. Based on what we know about Thakiri, it seems the price they paid for their freedom was insanity. They became the monsters they were based on.
Research report 9076.23. Final entry. I am weary. Soon I'll return to the Great Link, and I will be glad to be rid of this place. The Borrowers have emerged again. We can barely control them this time. The Jem'Hadar were able to divert their onslaught at great cost. Rather than counterattack, they went through the wormhole to seek easier prey. Our agents in the other quadrants report that the Burrow assault was a sweeping one, going as far as Kronos. Hopefully they'll devour every atom of that wretched planet. The Burrowers will eventually return to dormancy. Strangely, it appears that some of their forces intend on remaining in the other quadrants. It seems they have a long-term goal. Galactic devastation.
Yes, they knew the Herc problem was getting worse even then. Instead of preparing or seeking allies, they expanded the Dominion. And when the Herc re-emerged, they tried to deal with it on their own, and failed. Their arrogance may lead to the end of the Dominion. We need to get this data to the Alliance, all of it, even the damaged and corrupted files. There has to be information we can use in here.
I'm picking up something on my tricorder. There was a massive power spike on a lower deck, and now I'm reading a large number of systems cycling up. Something's happening down there.
Agreed. Take your team and Captain Kira down to investigate. I'll remain here and pull as much of the data as possible. We won't get another chance at this.
We must be close to the core. Hope we don't have to leave in a hurry. There's no way our ships can lock onto us down here with transporters. Tell me about it. Let's stay focused on the mission. Now that we're closer to the signal, I'm getting better readings on my tricorder. I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure everything that came online down here has some sort of medical purpose. I'm still uncertain about Odo. I need to be sure he's still not a part of all this. The Odo I knew wouldn't have risked Bajor like that. This Odo seems arrogant and reckless, even dangerous. Well, that answers one question. These are medical stasis pods. Judging by what we heard upstairs, I think the occupants are Fakiri. It gets worse. I'm picking up life signs ahead. I'll bet some of the stasis pods down here have opened. From what we know about the Fakiri, they probably won't be happy to see us. Worf and Martok need to see this. I'm picking up traces of Ketracel White in these tanks. The Dominion probably manufactured it here to keep the Fakiri in line, and took it with them when they left the facility. So, we have a station full of angry Fakiri with no way to pacify them. We've got company, and they don't look friendly. I don't want to be around if all of these Fakiri wake up. Let's see if we can find some way to keep the rest of these pods from opening. By the prophets. More incoming. We need an exit plan.
way to assist you. Nerys, are you...
I'll manage. Let's get out of here while we can.
Victory is life.
So rapid, you know, but I don't say it every 5 seconds.
I think we've worn out our welcome. Garrick informs me that a number of unidentified vessels are emerging from hidden bays throughout the station. To make matters worse, the Herc have arrived. They're beginning to assault the station as we speak, and I don't need to tell you how that will end. It's time to leave. Looks like the Herc followed us down here.
Wonder what they want in here.
Keep moving. We're almost there.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
You might be right. Listen. Are you insane?
I'm relieved to see you well. It's fortunate we arrived when we did. A moment later, and that creature would have attacked the Founder.
Odo wasn't in any danger, Weyoun. That Herc was peaceful. It was trying to communicate with us.
That's your opinion. Mine is that a Founder was in danger of being attacked by a member of an aggressive species. My duty was clear, as is my conscience. We're wasting time here, Captain. The station is on the verge of being overrun by the Herc. If you want to communicate with them some more, you're free to do so, but I recommend we leave immediately.
Once we return to the upper levels, we will be...
Glad you could join us. As you can see, the situation here has become rather combustible. The Herc I recognize, of course, but our other opponents remain a mystery. Some new type of Dominion attack craft, perhaps? Valkyrie? The monsters from stories that keep naughty Klingon children in line? I'm intrigued. Be sure to fill me in once we've managed to get out of the skirmish. I remember Mr. Worf mentioning the Valkyrie. Beginning to see why.
out of warp.
Just as the Valkyries are
Looks like the Fakiri are pursuing the better part of valor. Can't say I blame them. There's a lot of Hurk out there.
The Hurk seem to be distracted. There's something about the station that's holding their attention. We might be able to take advantage of this.
Are you suggesting we attack? While it's true, we have the advantage for now. I don't think we'll hold it for long once we start blowing them apart. We have what we came for. If the Hurk want to gnaw on an asteroid while we make a hasty exit, I believe we should let them enjoy their meal in peace.
Very well. We'll deal with the Hurk later. For now, let's get back so we can analyze the research data we found here. Whenever you're ready.
The Founders never disappoint, do they? I wish I had chosen to join you on the station, but I'm sure it's for the best that I was available to cover your escape. I'll admit, I was a bit worried when I couldn't reach you on comms. I'm glad to see you're all right. I will help Odo repair the corrupted files as best as I can. Hopefully we can discover our next lead. I'll be in touch once we have more information.
My apologies for the quality of the transmission. I'm contacting you on an encrypted frequency. I'm working on an important covert mission, and I could use your assistance. I can't go into the details over comms, but you should know, if we pull this off, it could change the course of the Hurk conflict in our favor. Meet with me on Deep Space Nine to go over the details. Come along. I've been asked to keep the details of the mission on a need-to-know basis, and right now, only you and I need to know.
Good luck.